Hi, it's me again with Corel Draw Tips and Tricks. Part 4, last one. Somebody asked me about a year ago why I break my videos up and why I don't just keep going. Uh, I think this is the best way for somebody to learn. To pause the video and practice that and then go back. All I did is I took my rectangle tool, and I'm not taking too much time, but I just drew rectangles. I didn't even copy them or I just made rectangles. Then I took a rectangle and I changed it with the shape tool. And I'm doing this on top of the real one, so it's a little bit fuzzy. And I'm going to make a duplicate of this guy, and I'm going to move it over there, and I'm just doing all this by hand. Uh, 9 times out of 10, this is going to be so small that it's not going to be seen. It's just effects, and now we're going to make this one a little bit smaller. And you could take a lot more time on this part of it, but it's not. To me, it's not that critical. I could have blended them. Uh, I could have rotated them, but I did bigger bricks on the bottom. I didn't even take the time to see where I'm moving it's. I'd have to. So this is a good one. Take your graphic and lock it, and then you can grab the brick. I didn't even take the time on this to like hit T and put them on the top. You know, I could have done that on all of them. Now, what we can do, and some of them I went past. I'm not going to finish the top. Top's going to be easy, but I'm just going to grab the bricks and I'm going to nudge them over 2 inches. Now you can see it's a little bit off. That's either from the nudge or whatever, but we can grab, and what I should have done while I had them, I ought to group them together, Control G, and then nudge them over. Then I'm going to change my nudge something like 0.01 just to nudge them a little bit. And then I can grab them and I can just nudge them over ever so slightly. Now I made this one doubly big with the brick, so I'm going to Control D and make a duplicate and move it over. Now some of them, and see I've got too many bricks in the way, so I'm just going to move it by hand back over. Get it kind of even. Take the virtual segment delete key, delete those lines, delete these lines, delete this line, and then I'm going to either want to move my windows. I'm going to go to Object, Group, and Ungroup. Grab my window. I actually need the black part of the window and put it in the center of that. Here's a good little side note. Grab your window, hold down the shift, and and hit CE. That'll put it in the center of that. I'm going to have to go to Object. Whenever you can't do anything, it's probably grouped together. Grab the second part, CE, and it'll put it right. And you can go EC or CE. We're a little bit off on our, the size of our door. Everything else looks okay. Let's do this. Let's take our outline and left click, right click, and we can actually move the door jamb over by grabbing all those 4 nodes and then hold down the control button and just bring it in. Evidently, I've got 2 sets of lines, so grab that second side and hit delete. Then you've got 2 trains of thought on engraving this. One, if you're going to engrave each individual brick, you need to make sure there's something other than a hairline. And this is so small, that might particularly not work. Or what you can do when you finish out the top of the castle, which isn't much work, it's just some lines. What I would maybe suggest doing, and we'll see what it looks like, take a 2-point line and just go above the brick so it won't leak. And then then just do this. And I've got another set of lines there on the brick. And then you could do this to the outline, make the outline something other than a hairline, and you get a whole different look. And you could split that brick in half, and there's a lot you could do with it. And probably in the real castle, you probably, this has got like an outline shape because they use colors. They were printing this. If you're going to engrave this, you could possibly even get away without that outline. Just use that as the castle. And I see my windows are a little bit messed up. But you get the idea. I think that's going to look fantastic. And then just draw you a couple of these shapes and, some more lineage, on the spires, and make these two shapes. And I think you're good to go. And the person I'm doing this for off Facebook, I will say this, and if you'd like to have this to start, I'd be willing to send it to you. Hope that helped. Thank you for watching.